wait for it because I had to get my mic. And we live. Welcome to another Everybody Can't Go Convo. I told you guys we were going to do a little mini series that we were going to have different interviews, giving you guys some overview of what's going on at Podfest. Learning a lot, got a whole bunch of new things to bring to you guys this season. I found out that we're breaking this stuff up into seasons, y'all. Y'all know I just be going and we be on here every Wednesday. But with me, I have Erykah, one of the lovely people that I have met. We are going to get more information from her. Everybody that you see that's going to come through on here, we are doing one-on-one interviews with them, regular Everybody Can't Go Convo style. But I just wanted to get a little bit of an overview from you. Yeah. Tell me about your podcast, what brought you to Podfest, and how's your experience been?
Yeah, so first of all, this is my second year at Podfest. So I went last year. It was great. I met a lot of people here. This is my second year. It was amazing. I got to learn a lot about content marketing and using LinkedIn to expand my network and collaborate with people. So my name is Erykah. I have the Take 30 podcast. So basically what it is you're taking 30 minutes for you and yourself and your mental health. I have a lot of guests who come on the show. I've had guests from therapists, coaches, other podcasters. And we just talk about, we share their story and we just talk about ways we can cope when we're dealing with anxiety. My podcast is available wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube. It's been Podfest has allowed me to grow as a person. I've made so many new friends, especially Jessie over here, and it was just a way to build community and connect with like-minded people.
Hey, turn up. Now, you hear what she said her podcast is about. So if you know anything about Everybody Can't Go, you know exactly why. I was like, oh my God, it's a new Podfestie, right? So we will be hearing more from Erykah in this coming season where we're talking about that self-care. I love the concept and the idea of taking 30 minutes. You know, I tell you guys all the time, make sure that you take some time for self-care. 30 minutes is great. If you could take 30 minutes a day, I'm like, shoot, take a self-care week, but we don't always have that type of time to do that. So we want you guys to make sure that you're prioritizing your self-care and that you are being able to have, so remember, self-care is not a luxury. It doesn't have to be expensive. So we're going to dig a bit more into that, talking about some of the mental health ramifications of making sure that you do take that time out for your self-care, or what happens if you don't take that time out for self-care. That's why I'm always bringing that content and that topic back up when we're coming back on, because it's something that has to be consistently done. Day by day, week by week, month by month. Sometimes if you're waiting month to month, you and I both know, because remember, I'm not just talking to y'all, I'm talking about me too, okay? Accountability. When we're waiting month to month for that self-care and to prioritize ourselves and take care of ourselves, sometimes month to month, that is too long of a wait. And we are trying to stay away from burnout, stay as far away from it as we possibly can so that we can stay on whatever your version of the turn up is. Erykah, thank you so much for coming on and giving us a brief intro. Yeah. You guys can look forward in the next coming weeks and coming months to see Erykah on a specific episode of Everybody Can't Go Convos. And thank you so much for joining on with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Another person that I have met, we are going to have you introduce yourself. Let us know about what you do. We have talked about everything TEDx Talks, and I'm like, oh my God, give me more info. So let us know your name and what you do and how you help your clients to land TEDx Talks.
Thank you. That's awesome. Okay, so my name is Sharon Zahavi, and yeah, that's what I do. I help people land TEDx Talks. Basically, if you have a great story and a great message, what better place to show it than the biggest stage in the world? You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? We actually have a podcast that is pretty cool where we interview a lot of the people that we work with around their message and their story, because many of the people, and you probably kind of feel the same, they either have a message that they believe can change the world, or a story, something that they've experienced that changed who they are, and they truly want to impact others because they feel like they're probably in the same situation. So yeah, we have like a podcast that talks all about that.
Awesome. And with that being said, of course, I would want to be one of those people to come on. And who doesn't love a good TEDx? Okay. So if you see a girl, not if, when you see a girl with her own TEDx talk, don't say that I didn't tell you guys from some of our beginning stages, all of our loyal listeners who you guys have been rocking with us from jump. When I'm big time, you know what? I'm already big time. My videos are just pending. You know how we do it around here. So thanks for coming on, letting us know about what it is that you do. We've actually had major lovely interaction while I've been here at Podfest, learning more about actually taking the TEDx stage. Something that, I mean, who doesn't know what a TEDx is, who hasn't seen it, but I didn't think about it until I stepped over to the booth and had a conversation with this lovely soul that, you know what, a TEDx is something that is in my future. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And you know what I noticed? And it's like that for a lot of people, you know, like we think that it's some kind of like a far goal that someday when we something, it would be great. But the reality, this is like the door opener for you, right? That's the thing. You're like, you do so much. You're such an attractor, right? Like you have a message, you're excited about it. You never think about doing a TEDx because a lot of people think it's really hard to do, right? And you only do it when you're awesome. You're already awesome. Okay. You just need to know how to do it. That's all. I mean, that's what I'm here for. Right.
Yeah. That's what she's here for, guys. Thanks for tuning in for another mini episode while we're giving you guys live coverage from Podfest 2025. We'll see you on the next one. We coming to you with another mini episode of Everybody Can't Go Convos live from Podfest 2025. Y'all know I've been all over the place in my extreme flight attendant, just excited and so this is one of the people that I've met while I've been perusing around. You know, every time we in a room, we gonna find each other, especially when it's a big room and there are things that we have in common. So I have here with me Raw, and he's gonna tell us about his podcast, sports podcast. You know, we don't talk about sports around here, but that don't mean I don't like them and don't mean I don't love it. All right, we're not gonna talk about my L last night for this Lions loss, but go ahead and tell us about your pod.
First of all, I told you that was going to happen, but we ain't going to get into that. But I don't actually have a sports podcast yet. It's something that I'm working on, and it's something that I'm trying to put together because I feel like it's a lot of sports shows out there, but everybody's pandering towards something. And that bothers me when it comes to sports because we all have an opinion. Don't tell me I'm supposed to like the Lions or I'm supposed to like the Eagles. Let me like what team I like because that's what I like. You get what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Don't push LeBron James on me. Let me like Anthony Edwards. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, it's fair. I don't have to like it, but that's fair.
Yeah. But my actual podcast is called the Enlightened Idiot Podcast. We are live every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. If you could think about it, we talk about it. That's just what it is. So make sure y'all tune the fuck in.
So y'all heard what a live podcast is. The podcast is coming to fruition. And of course, you know that you are going to see this guy coming through and telling us about his journey.
It's happening. Let me ask you a question.
Oh,
I know you like interviewing us, and I like interviewing people. So now, with this being your first Podfest, what's the one thing that you hated most about being here?
The one thing I hated most, and y'all know I'm always talking about happy stuff. Let me see. The thing that I hated most, I think that because this was my first one, the thing that I hated most was while I was intentional with choosing which classes that I would go to so that I could make the most out of getting information so that I could improve my podcast. But there were classes that were at the exact same time. So I marked off everything that I knew that I needed and a few things that I wanted to learn extra about. But there were several times where each day I had to make a decision. Am I going to spend this hour in this room or in this room? And I'm not going to lie, it was a time or two where the room that I chose, I was like,
why did I do this?
And I'm like, dang, I probably should have done the other course because it was a little too beginner or it was a solution that wouldn't work for the way that my pod is set. So I would say that would be the one thing. So not necessarily like truly bad, like it's nobody's fault.
So last year, me and DC, brother DC, he left already, but me and brother DC came down here and we noticed that it's a bunch of classes everywhere. But we started realizing we learned more in the hallway than we learned in the classroom. So we came down here intentionally knowing that we might do 1 or 2 classes a day, but for us, the conversations in the hallway is where you learn everything. Down here at Podfest, everybody's here that knows something. So if you get a group of people and everybody know one thing, now we all know a bunch of things. So that's why we spent majority of our time in the hallways. Hey, what's up with you? What do you do? Tell me about this. Break down that. Then after a while, other people are going to start saying, hey, you need to go meet this person. You need to meet that person. So that's why for us, it was about the hallway.
That makes a lot of sense. While I was out and about, y'all know I got to be in my flight attendant anytime there's some type of event like this. So in addition to going to class, I ain't gonna let y'all think that I really sat there and ATC this whole thing, because I didn't. But with being in the hallway and having conversations with other people around, there were a couple of people that I met like at the mixers after, at the end of the day, the after parties and all that stuff, that I'm like, yo, I actually met somebody yesterday. Y'all will be super dope. And like, y'all should link up. And next thing you know, the person is walking past and it's like, hey, come here. Like, y'all need to get, like, look, this is what we were talking about. And just all of the different types of conversations. Like, I never talk about sports on my pod, but that's where you and I started having a conversation about the idea that you have coming forward.
Yep.
We've talked about several different things with, I noticed that some of you guys do have the podcast where it's kind of like shooting the breeze. It's not necessarily like get in here and learn something. It's the same thing as being on the couch and getting some wise counsel or having like a different take on a topic. So I definitely think that like both are like, y'all know me, y'all know I want to do it all, but in essence, I think that that each person, and depending on how you learn, y'all know, depending on what your flight assessment score is, some of you guys may be here and you do need to do the class thing. Some people need to be in the hallway.
It's about balance, learning that balance of when to sit down and when to move around. And a lot of people don't, even in real life in general, people don't have that balance. They don't know when to sit down, when to move. They think they got to keep moving at all times, or they got to sit down at all times. You got to figure that shit out. And down here, it's like, there's so much going on. There's so many people. When I first met you, the first thing I said to you was, don't connect with people because of money. Connect with people because of connections. Do you agree with that now that you've been around and you see how people are, where people are, what people have? Do you agree that the connection is worth more than the money?
Yeah, I would think so. One of the things that I talk about on the podcast regularly, we talk about having mutually beneficial relationships with people. And with like, because that's already my mindset, I'm going in with who can I meet? Am I able to be of service to someone else? When you are like walking into the room with the intention,
you can't be used, you're useless.
That part. And when you're walking in a room with the intention to just look for, well, how am I going to get a check? How am I going to get paid? It's one, for me personally, it's cumbersome because I'm looking for a thing and I'm not operating in my natural. Right. Just being myself, being the way that I am, and going to like just talking to people the same way that like we ended up meeting while I was walking through the hallway. Like that's me being in like my natural, like my natural state. And that's what attracts like the things that I need, or the people that may need me to be of service to them as well, or finding out how we can help each other. I mean, it's not always about getting paid or getting a check because of your connection with somebody. There are many ways that somebody can bring value. It's not always monetary value. Somebody could be dropping knowledge on you. Somebody could be dropping gems. Somebody may be able to share something about their past experiences that, you know, they may impart some life wisdom on you that is literally priceless, because there is no way to tangibly measure it with money, any type of, you know, because it could literally change your life or change your trajectory.
The best thing a person can give you is advice. Them giving you $1 actually hurts you. And a lot of people don't understand that. Somebody giving you money actually hurts you more than it helps you, because now they're not teaching you how to make another dollar. All they're doing is they feeding you something to make you sit down. So don't give me shit besides advice. I don't ask for nothing but that. And most of the time I'll pay for the advice. because sometimes the advice is worth the price of admission.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be looking for dollars, people. Look for advice. Look for what people can help you get next. If you can't get something out of what somebody's giving you, then they gave you absolutely nothing. Even if that's just a conversation. You need to get something out of that conversation, some type of knowledge, wisdom, a skill, if you will. You should be getting something out of everything somebody gives you. And if they're not, don't take it. Let them keep it.
That's good sound advice. And y'all know what I say. If you taking some advice from somebody,
And I ain't charging y'all for that one.
and it was for the free 99.
See what I'm saying?
I'm always tell you guys, make sure that when you're getting advice that is from wise counsel can come from anywhere at the most unexpected time. And you know that we always talk about that everybody can't go. Sometimes we are more used to taking that advice from faces that are familiar, the people that have always been there. That may not be the best counsel for whatever the situation is. It may come from somebody else outside of your normal circle and crew. So, Rod, thank you for taking some time with us to do like a little pre-episode. Y'all see where this man head at. So when we go ahead and do our one-on-one and we do a full interview, full episode, you guys have gotten just a little tip of the iceberg of what to expect. You know, when you see an iceberg, you're only seeing the 10% above the water. We going way deeper than this.
Facts.
Thanks for joining us on this miniature little episode. And we will see you guys on another Everybody Can't Go Convo.
Bong.